my fantasy. The way I love you. But what be worry, baby, now what I go do? Obia she be personal. I you be natural, natural.
Look at all this hair. She came freshly washed. She's a loyal OBIA customer because I've seen her many times at many events in Dallas. And she's like, do something. So we're gonna work something out here. So I'm gonna show her.
Wash and go, flat twist, puffs.
Actually, we're gonna start in the back. Let's start back here. What I will actually do, just get like. What I did was, this is just the curl hydration spray, and then no curl hydration spray. So as you see, even just putting a little bit of the hydration spray is literally hydrating her hair and bringing her curls back to life, minus no product over here. So I'll show again. Literally just dampen the section, and then I'm gonna use my hands to do this, not even a comb, because your hands are the best way to catch it and see what you're doing with your hair versus using a comb first where you might not catch a tangle and it might rip out. Then from here, so you see this is the before and this is the after, just to add moisture to her hair, literally remoisturizing her hair versus this. So you guys will see the difference of how a little moisture goes a long way. Okay, awesome. So from here, yeah, you see all, yes, we're in a beauty supply store. Let's work this out. Let's work this out. So then what I'll do, since the cameras are over here, we're gonna take this section here and I'll show you how to use the curl enhancing custard so you guys can see. Switch. And we're going to use the curl enhancing custard, which is our styling gel. The curl enhancing custard is alcohol free. It doesn't flake, but it gives you really good clumps, so you guys can see the difference. So first, I'll work through that section with the spray because I want it to be a little bit more wet. And let me add just a little bit more hydration spray to the section. Hi. And then a little bit of the curl enhancing custard, work it through the hands. I probably put a little bit too much in my hands, but I'm gonna show you the difference with the custard to bring the curls really out. So I really like to work product through the hair, make sure it's all the way through. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm gonna take the extra product out of my hands because a little bit goes a long way. But you guys see this? Oh, sorry. Actually, I'll turn it around. Yeah. Is that better? Okay. Y'all see the difference between the curl enhancing custard versus just a moisturizer? So when you use the gel, so when you really want to enhance your curls, you're going to want to use a gel or something that has a polymer to really make the curls pump and clump. And that's what the curl enhancing custard does. And you can literally see how the curls pop versus just moisturized here. So this is defined, and then from here, if she was going to do a wash and go and she cared more, she can even do finger coils to make it even clump further and pop even more. But with her hair, I don't think she has to do that. So again, we'll see the difference in texture. Actually stand up so let me not hurt you. So let's turn around. So this is with a gel-based product, and this is just with a moisturizer back here. So it depends on your preference, because some people feel like you always have to do a wash and go with the gel, but this shows you that you can have all of this hair and you don't have to do a wash and go with the gel. You can use the gel if you want to have more longevity and hold, but you can also use a moisturizer to get the same kind of definition as well too. So that's a little trick. I'll continue going, and so I'll ask you to touch your hair, this section here. versus this section, and then you let me know if you want to prefer with the gel-based product or if you want to prefer with the moisturizing-based product.
Gel-based.
All right, so then we're going to turn this way so everybody can see. And we'll continue with the gel as we continue, because people always see this and they think I can't do anything to my hair. It's so thick, it's so bushy, what are you going to do to your hair? But it's really not that hard. We're not in the shower, we're literally just doing it in a beauty supply store with just 2 products. So a little bit goes a long way. Your hair doesn't have to be soaking wet. Obviously, it's more helpful if your hair is soaking wet in the shower, but it doesn't. It can literally just be damp, and with the right products, you can achieve the definition that you want.
Yeah,
so
I really like how the product absorbs the hair. I mean,
yes.
it really...
Yeah. So the absorption also is because the products are pH balanced. And we'll go through a little science lesson because everybody loves to learn about chemistry, right? Right. And the cool part about it too is a lot of people still are not familiar that I'm a chemist. And so I'm literally just doing this on my hair, and what my hair likes, I share it with the world. But then of course, I take suggestions as well too, to make sure that it goes across the spectrum, to make sure that it achieves everybody's needs as well too. But I always test it on myself first. So it's not animals that are tested first, I'm the first tester. And so I'll have the same issue of low porosity or my hair not absorbing products. And so that's why the products are pH balanced. And so pH balance is essentially a scale from 0 to 14. And everybody always thinks pH balance, they think about your water being hard or soft, right? You guys have heard about that. So then also with pH balance, you guys remember relaxers?
Right.
Relaxers.
Yeah.
So right, it's acid and base, right? So it's the potentiation of hydrogen is what pH stands for. And so the reason why the scale is so important is because it's something so simple that can really teach you about the health of your hair. So pH below 7 is acidic, pH above 7 is basic, right? And so some things in your house that you can think about are like a lemon. Some people put lemon juice in their hair, right? Is that acidic or basic?
Acidic.
Acidic, right? So then also some people put like baking soda rinses. You've heard of baking soda rinse, right? Mm-hmm. Is that acidic or basic? Basic. So why would somebody do a baking soda rinse in their hair?
To cleanse it?
I mean, this is YouTube, and I see some.
I don't know about it.
I would suggest to cleanse it.
So you'd use a baking soda rinse to cleanse your hair?
To exfoliate the scalp.
Exfoliate the scalp. Anybody else? Nobody? See, that's another thing too why we need to have more of these conversations, because a lot of people see these things on YouTube and on the internet, but they have no idea why they're doing it. They're literally just following it, but they don't know the reasoning behind or what it is. So the reason behind is that, we'll go back to the relaxer. The relaxer has a high pH, it's a base, and the whole purpose of the relaxer is to open up your hair cuticles. So your hair has like a shaft, it has 3 layers. The top part opens up, and that's why it's either porous or not porous, right? So the relaxer opens up your hair cuticles, then it goes inside to like the medulla or the cortex and breaks the disulfide bonds, and then it's, that's why your hair goes from kinky, the S bonds, to straight. So then what's the next step after you put the relaxer in? The neutralizing shampoo that you have to keep washing out until it goes from pink to white, right? Right, and the whole point is that it's going to go from a pH of like 12 or 11 back down to 7. 7 is water. So if it doesn't go back down, what happens? You get a chemical burn. Y'all remember those? Everyone's like, they've never been natural. I know y'all haven't been natural your whole life, right? So you get chemical burns if you don't bring it back down, but some people don't realize that when your hair is relaxed, it's going on the basic side, but your natural hair is actually on the acidic side, slightly acidic. Most people's hair texture is between 4.5 to 5.5. And so this whole thing about porosity and damage and frizz, all of that really is a pH imbalance, honestly, because your hair, the water itself, hard water, is a pH of 7. So it's making your hair in an environment where it's not happy. So guess what? Your cuticles don't close. They stay open. They go like this. They become single strand knots. And it leads to what? Breakage, frizz, all the issues that you don't want. No moisture, and I'm not doing her hair, sorry. And all of those, right, and all of those issues that people always try to avoid. So if your hair is between 4.5 and 5.5, the key is to actually, hello. Come on in. Come on in. Hello, how are you? No, don't be So the key is actually if you use pH balanced products, they're going to lower your hair between 4.5 to 5.5, and that's what we're doing right now. This is actually the lowest pH of all the products here because if it's formulated correctly, it'll start from high and go all the way down to the finishing product. Your final product, your refresher, should actually have the lowest pH. So the shampoo bars here, you cleanse your hair with the shampoo bars directly. There's no sulfates in them because you don't have to really cleanse with a sulfate. And people say sulfate free, you know the reason why they say that? I didn't mean to do all this, but you know I just
go for it.
I'm sorry.
About the shampoo bar.
So what is a sulfate actually?
Like it's a cleanser as well. Yeah, sulfur. It's like sulfur-8. I've heard of sulfur-8.
Sulfur-8 is different because sulfur-8 is based on actual sulfur, sulfuric acid. Anybody else? Because you always hear the buzzword sulfate-free. You understand why? Sulfate-free? Okay, so sulfates are actually detergents. Think Tide. Think Dawn dish detergent. So detergents cleanse your scalp, but the same reason why your scalp does have natural oils on it, right? But you don't want to like use the same, you know, detergents that you would use to clean your pots and your pans after a Thanksgiving dinner to clean your scalp, because what happens, it takes all your natural oils off of your hair, and then it leads to what? Dryness. And that's why they say you can cleanse your hair, but if you use a sulfate-free cleanser, come on in. No. Don't be scared. Come on in.
It's okay. I'll come in a second.
Oh, I'm scaring people away.
Maybe I should move.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We don't want to scare away people from coming in. But basically, you don't need a strong detergent to clean your scalp, and that's why so many women are afraid to shampoo their hair, because whenever they clean their scalp, it's like they're starting all over again. They've lost their whole moisture balance, and their hair feels like sandpaper, and it's like literally starting from scratch. So if you use a gentle cleanser that cleans your hair and cleans your scalp, you won't be afraid to wash your hair. You can wash your hair with this every single day and not lose the moisture in your hair. That's how gentle it is, and that's what you guys need to switch from sulfate shampoos to sulfate free. Of course, every once in a while you might need something that's actually going to reset it, and what's the word? Not cleanse, but clarify. There you go. Sometimes you need to clarify all the gunk off of your hair, but that's not every single time you shampoo your hair. Right, so that's why they say sulfate-free shampoos. Then you move on from the shampoos to the conditioners. So we have a detangling conditioner here for someone, especially like her, that has really thick hair, and your problem is combing through. So I put a lot of comb through properties in this, so you can literally comb it through your hair and not have to worry about tangles and single strand and knots as well. But I prefer to put my hair in 4 sections because my hair is so thick. If I try to do it all in one time, it's going to be a hot mess when you get out of the shower. So I'll detangle it, put it into 4 sections, do like 4 little braids or whatever while it's still damp, and then style my hair from there. So if I'm going to do a wash and go, obviously I'll keep my hair wet. If I'm going to blow it out or do a twist out, then I'll come out and I'll towel dry my hair. But before then too, if your hair is really damaged, you're never going to get these beautiful curls or the curls you see here if your hair does not have moisture. So that's what people do. Yeah, there you go, shake it, girl. So that's why you would need a deep conditioner. So we have 2 deep conditioners in our line. The first deep conditioner, come on in. Hello, how are you? Come on in. Doing a little class. No, feel free. So the first deep conditioner is Babasu deep conditioner that's protein free. And then we also realize that everyone always in a while, sometimes needs a protein, treatment as well. So we have the Babasu Therapy hair mask, and this gives you vegan protein. So sometimes your hair feels like it's limp, it's lifeless, and it needs a little bit of protein to lift it back up. Then you would use a protein conditioner versus a no protein. But then if your hair is just really dry and damaged or color treated, you need to deep condition your hair every single week, then you can use a protein-free Babasu deep conditioner as much as you want, but having to worry about protein imbalance. And what's protein imbalance, since we're saying all these natural hair care buzzwords? Anybody know protein imbalance in your hair?
Protein overload.
Protein overload.
Right, your hair is protein anyways.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she said.
So yes, your hair is made of protein. What protein is it? Anybody?
Keratin.
There you go. Your hair is made of keratin. So, so if you use animal-based protein, sometimes what happens is it doesn't absorb into your hair follicle. So it'll just literally build and build and build. And if your hair, what happens to like a bodybuilder? What do they do? They eat a lot of protein to do what? Bulk up. So if you're bulking up your hair, after a while, it can have protein overload to where it's so strong it easily breaks. So that's why you would use a vegan protein with wheatgrass or rice protein, or plant-based proteins, and actually absorb into your hair follicle to strengthen it from the inside out and not just literally adding layers to bulk up, bulk up, bulk up, bulk up. So that's why that's important. Then from there, obviously, you moisturize your hair. So we have 3 moisturizers here. And so the reason why I created 3 moisturizers for the first line is because I wanted to have something that's literally end all be all for everybody. So the first moisturizer is is a curl moisture cream. It's really, really lightweight for people that have fine hair, or if they do have a lot of thick hair but they want to have movement and don't want to have it weighed down, you use the curl moisture cream. It also doubles as a leave-in conditioner too, which you can use before you style with the curl enhancing custard or a gel-based product. Then our next 2 are the Sweet Almond Heavy Cream. So if you have really thick hair and prefer more definition, but you don't actually like any butters, then you will love the Sweet Almond Heavy Cream, because I learned there's a lot of women that actually don't like shea butter based products. So twisted butter is great if you love shea butter based products. It has shea butter, mango butter, curcuma butter, but it's not greasy. And so both of these products are going to give you the same amount of definition from a twist out or a moisture, but it just depends on your preference if you want a butter based product or no butters in your product as well. So that's the same reason why even with the coconut and shea versus neem and tea tree, some people love coconut oil, some people love shea butter, and they want to have it all in one and not have to pre-poo, because it actually does have coconut oil and shea butter. And then some people have scalp concerns, so you put the neem and tea tree on your scalp instead. So it depends on what your preference is. You can use either, but they're not clarifying shampoos that are going to strip your hair. So both of these are still going to moisturize just based on your preference.
How do you apply a shampoo bar?
So you literally just go directly onto your scalp. This is a hard bar. It's not like, you know, it's not like soap to where it'll sit there in the water and just melt. It's a really, really hard bar. This bar will last you at least 2 months, even with, you know, weekly usage. You just keep it dry, you know, afterwards, and it's going to get really, really hard again. Or some people prefer to cut it into pieces and use one piece at a time, one section at a time, versus the whole bar. But you literally just apply it directly onto your hair. If you don't feel comfortable with that, you can get a lather on your hands and use the lather on your hands to get it through. And it's gonna lather just like regular water. So the difference is that most shampoos are like 8 ounces, but what you guys don't know on this side, that they're 80% to 90% water. That's why sometimes they put a lot of shampoo to get a really rich lather for it to cleanse your hair, but a couple swipes of this, it's undiluted and it's 4 ounces. You actually have more shampoo in this shampoo bar than you have in an 8-ounce traditional shampoo that's liquid. So that's a little bit of the overview of the products. I'll continue doing her hair. If you guys have any questions, you guys can walk up. I'll let the store continue to run. I appreciate you guys for pausing and for listening to me. And if you have any other further questions, you can always find us on social media or easy at ObiaNaturals on Instagram, or you can DM me, OBIA Ewah, EWAH on Instagram as well. Thank you for your time.
Yeah. Thank you.
For this. I think we'll just get this part as a before.
Gotcha. A lot of products, you know, don't they'll just rub off the hair, or they may not absorb and set on it. This product is actually absorbing and it's actually doing its work. What was the spray that you sprayed on there? What was that?
Hydration spray.
Okay, gotcha. Kind of loosen it up a little bit?
Well, it actually dilutes it, but I know that it has like a low pH, so this is what's really going to make it come in and pop. So obviously, we wouldn't start with her hair being so dry, so it's going to dampen it to bring out the definition and the texture.
And you're actually putting it on the hair. You're not necessarily putting it actually on the root, then on the scalp. Okay.
I'm putting it on the hair. So if I want to, I will spray her scalp, if anything.
Oh, gotcha.
To cool, to moisturize. I'm not going to oil her scalp or put the product on her scalp. No.
Yeah.
That also stops the product buildup. And then
it helps the product breathe.
It helps your scalp breathe so your hair can grow without having to worry about. So then we'll just clamp the section.
It's not heavy either.
Can he feel it?
Nice to meet you.
No, it's very light. Yeah, it's very, very light. And it's not greasy or sticky. It's very, very light. And then, of course, it'll dry clear.
And products is the way to go.
Switch out my product.
Right, it's not as hard as you think it is. It's very simple, actually. Just literally is going section by section. I'll be done soon. Thank you, ma'am.
Put a couple of bags
in the front bag. That'll save yourself some time and energy.
There we go.
That's it.
What? Oh my goodness!
She's like, I don't sound like that.
Is that my hair? Yes, my hair.
Look at it. Look at the popping in the front. See?
Oh my goodness.
We'll do the before. Let me pause. So we'll go break.
Go
Give a
ahead.
little status update. Yeah. So I'm gonna go home and your samples. Please let me know. I will. And tag me. I love to see results and be in touch with people. You guys.
My hair feels amazing. It feels light. It feels moisturized. OBIA. OBIA Naturals. I love you. I love you
too. I love you too. Y'all see that? You can shake it, girl.
Yes, darling.
Yes. So y'all saw the before and look at the definition and the after. You see these curls.
Goodness.
This was done dry with just 2 products. The Curl Enhancing Custard, I guess you hold that, and the Curl Hydration Spray. Yep, just these 2 products here. And y'all saw her afro before, and look at this beautiful definition afterwards. Of course, thank you so much. So what do you think?
I love you. And I love OBIA Naturals.
Aw, thank you so much.
I'm going to go ahead and put this in my bag, okay?
Thank you so much. And we're actually